scope, which to be honest I was going to bring up to be an actual issue with the whole is hip hop dead thing, where I do sometimes feel like the PR and the consumerism mentality we have in underground hip hop. Now, this is another thing, which is UK hip hop being underground versus mainstream, yeah? And I feel like the underground scene does have this issue where I know times are hard, everyone's brass, but there's not a lot of contribution or purchases towards people's stuff. Now, if you're putting something out properly, if you're packaging it, if you're doing your barcodes and your PRS and there isn't a massive fan base that purchase so much as they do the mainstream stuff. Like, for example, K Coke with all his merchandise and all his gigs, Joe Black with all his CDs and it's I don't know, but it's different with the underground scene in that sense. I just feel like that consumerism mentality in the fan base ain't there, and a lot of the time it is, I don't want to call it like preaching to the converted, but there's a lot of rappers and MCs in the audience that are supporting each other. So your audience isn't a new following or a new fan base. It's just basically bare other rappers and MCs. But that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it just tends to be the same crowd in the sense that a lot of...
Yeah, but like you said, it's underground, right? Yeah. There's a reason why you're calling it underground, and that's it's not going to appeal to the commercial listener, you know what I mean? The commercial listener is a lot different than the underground. Like, I like lyrics, I like, I like deep thought process, whatever. Like, the people that are buying into whoever's up there, they're a whole different bunch of... If they get a chance to listen to certain people, they might be into it, but... Is lacking, I feel like. Yeah, big time. In UK hip-hop. Yeah. Like, yeah, massive. But you're mentioning people that are signed. When you're saying Joe Black and who else? You said K Coke. Yeah, they're all they've been signed,
Type of hip hop, if you will, a certain type. It appeals mostly to the road. That type of rap.
Well, not even just to the road.
Well, yeah, the youngest, but there's no one that you're gonna promote mainstream. Loki, I suppose, was the closest to it, to being someone who had a lot of followers and he was out there, he was on the verge of it. But you know what I mean?
One of the things that Loki always used to sort of say was like, actually, no, I can't say it.
All right, one minute. You guys are having way too much fun. We've spoken a little bit about what UK hip hop is, where it is, who's supporting it, and whatnot. Just to wrap up, is it dying? Is it under attack? Is it in the hospital bed? Where is it?
Nah, to me, I think it's in the same place that it's always been. It's on it's not mainstream. Like what I would consider hip hop anyway, it's just underneath the mainstream. It's got its own little side things. You've got a group over here that like this rapper, a group over here that like battle rap, a group over here that do that. But it all stems from rap music. And rap music really just bubbles under the surface. It has done since it first came out. It's all, in America, it's a global business. No one in Britain is P. Diddy. It don't have that type of impact, that type of following. It just moves along. Now you've got people coming through. I'm proud of it. Like my era, I'm old now. I mean, I'm old. My era of hip hop is like, I'm still stuck myself somewhere between about 92 and 02 in just terms of hip hop generally. I don't really listen to new music. I stay there. So for me, I didn't copy mine. I'm sorry. No, I think that hip hop, UK hip hop is it's in a healthy place. There's people that's bringing things through. There are people that are making a living off of it, which is all you can ask for at the end of the day.
So for you, it's alive.
But for real, yeah, it's alive and kicking. I'm not saying I'm part of it. I'm not saying what I listen to is at the forefront of it. But yeah, UK hip hop's alive and well, man. It's still here.
Yeah, I don't think UK hip-hop is dead at all. I think it's really thriving. I think there's so much exciting things happening in it. And I really think that all the different rappers and styles and genres, promoters, festival bookers, artists and audience all really need to collaborate and network and communicate and be real and honest and, reach out to each other. And I think once that happens, it's going to be beautiful. And that's the only way the scene is going to rise, as long as we're making everyone else aware of it.
Wow.
Over to you.
Well, something that made me quite happy a while ago. One of the mobile awards recently, and it was all rappers. Like, it was Professor Green, and it was Tiny Temper, and it was what's the other guy, Tinchy Stride, or it was Gigs, or it was just all rappers. And this is an award ceremony that's been going for how many years, and just to see that, and I said, I watched it.
In the rap category.
No, this was just like all the performances were rappers, like from London or from the United Kingdom, and they were winning all the awards and everything. And I'm like, I'm watching it like, wow, this is kind of the dream that man kind of had, to be like, you know, we'd have our own award ceremony and we'd be doing the big shows, and you know, and okay, it's not exactly as I wanted it, but it's there in a form that, you know, I don't totally disregard it. I'm just like, these guys are rapping and they're from different ends in London and they're on the stage, and you know, it's there. It's just a little bit shinier and a little bit more popper orientated than I would have liked, but
The tracksuits on Bobbly.
but it's there. You understand? No, I'm just saying, you know, for me, I'm not so much stuck in trying to separate things. Like, for me, the elements that represent hip hop are the ones I embrace, you know, and I just accept it and say, yo, it wasn't my timing when it happened, but it happened for these guys, and I'm happy for it. So hip hop is fine. Stop trying to kill it off. You know what I mean?
It's under attack.
Yeah, I think it's live and kicking. You know, like Ted said, you know, seeing them sort of people up on that platform and doing that is obviously, it's still part of what we do in terms that we rap. So you've got a commercial side of it and you've got an underground side of it. I think the underground side is still sleeping a little bit. Like, you know, Tony said, I can vouch for that. Like, definitely I live off of it. But I think there's still a whole lot more that the scene can do in terms of becoming bigger, even if it's underground, even if it is the underground scene. And it's not just everyone jumping on the track with each other, collaborating. It's everyone being a bit more professional in what they're doing and trying to appeal to a larger audience. So it's not, even if it does sound boom bap, underground, whatever people want to say, there's underground rappers that are millionaires, you know, like, so it can happen, man. It can happen, but definitely still alive. Over to you, Reveal.
Thanks, Mice. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with Mice and Ted, what they were saying, man. I kind of feel like this is what people wanted a long time ago, yeah? And like, when I was doing this thing back in the days, I was proper young, so I remember it from that perspective, and I remember sort of this wave that's happening now as well, yeah? So this is what everyone wanted, man, and I'm kind of like, why are certain people bitching about it, yeah? Because they're just a bit bitter that it's not them, just being real. Do you know what I mean, yeah? And me, first and foremost, yeah, I'm a fan of hip-hop, yeah? So I just want to listen to quality music, yeah? And when I hear something that's good and it's in a British accent and it's repping the UK, yeah, that makes me love it even more. But what I would say is that I find that to find those quality gems, you have to sift through a lot of other stuff that's out there, but it's there. So I think it's there, it's alive, it's doing well. There's many people just doing it well, man. Stop it, man. This breath, man.
Musically, no, UK hip hop is still alive. It won't die. You can't kill the music. But as far as the community and support for it, like commercial support and a general understanding of what it is a bit lacking in it. That is on the live support. But we're here, and I don't think any of us would be sitting here if we didn't want to see different. So we can't say it's dead, but yeah, we need to make some changes, definitely.
It might be sleeping a little bit. That's what I mean.
Chloroformed a little.
Hibernating. And I'd just like to know, I'm joking. Going really back, if we go back.
No, but seriously though.
Thank you. Well, it's definitely not dead, but there are some questions around it. It's a great topic, a great discussion. Maybe people just need to get more involved in what's actually happening. If they know more, then they'd be able to make other people aware more, and maybe it might stay live and kicking a little bit longer. But you know, if you guys have got anything to say about it, just write down below, make a comment, leave a suggestion, let us know what you're thinking.